This is a podcast on its born, namely Sign Capsule, what this presentation UK. Explore the stories and given their opinion. It's benefits already know, disabled people, news affects their lives. It's very rare to represent in the media. So then this podcast is no effort to try and address that. The TUC, Trade Union Congress, has submitted evidence to the UK government. The news review of the best independence payment, highlighting that disabled people are company twice as likely to be unemployed as non-disabled people. That's 8.8% versus 4.3%. The TUC warned that severe delays in implementing workplace reasonable adjustments coupled with the stress and uncertainty of government PIP assessments and forced disabled people out of the workforce. The public call for evidence for Tim's review officially closed in the last month. People have been saying that, but it's basically things that seems like it's Christmas. But it's a whole lot in now. So basically, it's one of a lot of workplace adjustments. But I often think that, of course, you said, I think that maybe I've been a bit harsh, but I think trade unions give government slapstick, and rightly so, and obviously not part of slapstick, kind of, not really having the best interests of everybody at heart, and maybe sometimes it's political football and other issues. I think they highlight that, but they have actually really highlights really when you break it down. And I think I'm going to give unions a bit stick as well, because I think everything could do more actually for kind of providing a message of inclusion. I know it's what, in a sense, no problems with what's been said, but everything it meant a lot more. I think that if you think about how hard they tried to kind of strikes and that kind of and whatever, a lot of the issues that they're talking about in terms of burns and in terms of economic labour, particularly in terms of the workforce, the lack of, you look in the workforce, you talk about going back to the benefits thing about young people. Now, it's an unemployment crisis of being told, because a lot of young people are struggling to find work or unable to work. I think quite these adjustments and things like that, less than 31 really the DDA, it's nowhere. Unions could apply them in terms of making a notice back, making a more inclusive workplace, not just on conditions for disabled members, because those conditions involve reasonable adjustments, but you never really hear any of them. Over the years, you never hear unions talk about, welfare costs and so forth in terms of, not vehemently, maybe I might be wrong, but not vehemently. And I think if there's a lot more solidarity, there's disabled workers and there's sectors of the unions that focus on disability, but I think now in terms of the fact that, disability now is what it is, it's a broad term that affecting it around 40 people probably behind the act for 34 years. And, obviously we've seen with young people, the mental health issues out there, a lot of people well, obviously with what's called joint in-house, there's a lot of older people or working age people that are finding themselves either developing mental health issues because of burnout, stress, or physical health issues, through stress, and retirement and so forth. So I think if we're all struggling to rejoin the workforce after some whatever, whether it's health or whatever, I think if unions played a big role in kind of advocating for reasonable adjustments and looking back future for workers, and now it's affecting a lot more people they traditionally would have done. I think unions have to step up and play a bigger part in that conversation and use their powerful and influence to support disabled people in the arts that we have, because ultimately it's affecting them as well, because there's less people joining the workforce and who's there to replace those that retiring, and we know it's more stresses and more pressure being on people, whether it's low wage, longer hours, infrequent work. No, it's bad if you're everybody, and just I was an issue for a few people. It's health is a major factor now, and reasonable adjustments, and we think of work and what the future of work is. Everybody needs it, not just politicians and not just the individuals who use themselves and think about the future that is, and to their members about their vision the future of work to be so that they can have a bit of this conversation, use their power and shape because they can conceptions with them and so staying happy with the pinch drugs, famously with the two drugs essentially they hold a lot of things. I just can't help thinking they can use it a bit more when it comes to the conversation. It's helping people in the world. It's just my view.